All right, so we've got this, you should have your drawing set up, right? That you've scanned. I've got two different drawings here. This would be two colors. We'll add a third color as a ground. Within this one, so first off, we can see here, this is what pencil marks will look like once we've scanned them and kind of adjusted for them. And this is what we'd have: acrylic paint, which is nice, soft, with a little bit of brush texture. Here's an ink wash, so you can see how it's a little bit softer. And on this one, I've taken a dark gray, and then on top of that I've taken another lighter gray, so we can sort of see the two together. There's a little bit of a brushy texture, a little bit of pencil marks down here. Then I just drew on top of them basically. So I've got this white wax pencil drawn on top there, and just a Sharpie marker there. Painted white into here and here and here on top of the black, right? So I could kind of bring back into that space and start to draw with it. All right. So the first thing that you'll want to do once you have your drawings all scanned and prepared is that we want to get rid of some of this paper texture so it's not interfering with the colors. We're going to do that with levels. Grab our levels here. You can already see we have a nice black. We're going to adjust for the white. So I'm going to drag this down until I can see that the paper texture has disappeared. That's close. I want to keep some of this. Like, there's kind of this crackle in here, which is kind of nice. So I want to keep some of that. That's looking good so far. What we want to do to keep this simple is merge these layers down to where it's just one layer, right? In order to do that, I'm going to select the top layer and hit Command and E, right? So that should merge them down to one layer. From there, I'm able to select the entire thing, which is Command A, copy, Command C, and we want to start a brand new document. All right. So you want to do this with whatever your biggest drawing is, whatever your biggest scan is, because it's going to pick the size for you. Whatever you copied, it'll remember that size. Right. We need to do it at a resolution of 300. That's the size we're doing. Right now it's at grayscale. We want to make sure we're in RGB so we can get some color. So choose RGB, hit OK. Right, and then I would paste into there. Right, so set up a new document, paste all my drawings in there, and from there I'd start working. Now I already have something like that set up, and so I'm gonna work for two different drawings. This one's pencil. You can see the different marks, and then, like I said, we have basically just a texture that we're going to use as our background. And I'll show you how to do that. We can block this off so that it makes sense with the drawings. All right. So we've got this one in here. Everything's all lined. It's not lined up, but it's all in there. It's all in the same place. And so what we want to do to start off with is establish our colors, right? I'm going to make a brand new layer right here. I'm going to start off with this orange, right? So just get an orange layer. Start a second layer. I know that I want to use some sort of blue. This is what I have loaded up here, so I'll just use this. All right, so we got that blue. You remember that on both of these, on all these layers, part of what makes them work is we're choosing a different blend mode, right? So if we click down here from normal, the one I'd recommend is using multiply. It's going to give you darker colors, right? So that these two blend to make a darker color. If you wanted to have lighter colors, and it's going to be a lot lighter, but you could do it. Linear dodge would be a good one, right? So you can see the difference there. That's not what I want, so I'm going to stick to multiply. All right, cool. So I'm going to do this one layer at a time. Basically what we're doing is we set up a mask right here on this layer, right? So I set up the mask by clicking on this little square donut looking guy. I'm going to go into my masks drawings layer here, like this little folder where I have the different drawings. And you can creating a folder is very easy. It's just clicking down here and starting a new folder, right? So anyway, so I have my folder. I'm going to select this one. This is the one I want to start off with as my orange layer. Command A to copy, Command A for all, Command C to copy. Then we want to paste it inside of the mask. In order to paste it inside the mask, we need to hold down Option and click on the mask. From there I can hit Command and V to paste it. And what we want to do, you remember, if I click outside here, oops, that's because that's still showing, that right now it's not showing the correct way, right? Like we're getting orange where the mask, where the black is on the mask, or where the white is rather on the mask. And what we want to do, so I'm gonna go back into the mask, holding down the option, clicking on the mask. What we want to do is inverse this. If I inverse it too soon, so Command I to inverse. If I inverse it too soon, you'll see that I have this white border around it, and we want to get rid of that. So I'm going to go back a step, just Command Z. The proper way to do it is to get rid of that selection first, which is Command D for deselect. And so now there's no selection made. I just hit Command and I, right? And so that's going to get rid of this, those bars at the top and that kind of stuff. And so now we should have the right mask, right? So that's what I'm looking for approximately. I'll want to clean this up a little bit. You see I have this little thing over here, and I probably won't want that. I don't see any other weird marks. Maybe some over there, but anyway, so let's go back into the mask. Just hold down Option, click on the mask. And it's really easy to get rid of any of these extraneous marks that you don't want. I'm gonna use my brush, right? Remember, you got those right and left brackets to change the size of the brush. And I'm just going to paint with black over anything I don't want, right? So I don't want that mark. And there's a little junk up there, a little junk over here, right? So get rid of that. Click back out here. You can see those are gone. And now I'm left with the image that I want so far, right? All right, so that takes care of this drawing. Now I want to bring in this drawing, which is up here, right? And I want to bring it into this layer. So we're going to turn that on. So I'm going to select all, copy this, and then hide it because I don't need it now. And we're going to set up a mask for this next layer. All right, so exact same process. I'm going to click on this to start a mask, hold down Option to go into the mask, Command V to paste, Command D, as in Delaware, to deselect. And then I'm going to inverse it. Command and I to inverse, right? And so you can see on this one already, there's this weird little thing down here. Again, just grab some black paint, paint over anything you don't want, right? Looks like there's a little dot there. All right, so I should be able to click out here, and we can see, all right, we're close. We're getting close, but it's not quite there, right? We'd like it if these two matched up. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the mask over, and kind of try to match these up. I'm going to unchain link them. So I clicked off this, there's a little chain in between here. If I click off that, then I can move this mask around. I'm just going to hold down the Command key and kind of drag this over. Right now you can see there's some blue getting added to the side. Not a big deal, right? I can get rid of that by painting black on it in just a second. So I'm going to drag this sort of into the right direction. Again, just holding down Command to get it there. If I needed to transform this, I could hit Command and T to transform and sort of start to, tilt this either way. It matches up fairly well. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to transform. Right, and then I'm going to go back in. I'm going to clean up this stuff. You can see where I have these things. All right, so Option, click on the mask to go back into the mask. I want a great big brush for this time. I'm just going to paint black. Get rid of that junk. Clean it up. All right. So there we're done with the bulk of it, right? That's pretty much already the assignment. On this one, you can see I've missed out on this guy's eye. I forgot to draw in an eye that would count. Well, first off, all right, look. If you look inside of here, you can see we've got these little marks that are sticking out. Sometimes that's charming, like down here, I kind of like it where there's an overlap and it's kind of going wonky. But where I have these little dots, these dark dots, I don't like it that as much. So I'm going to go into my mask. I'm just selected on the mask, right? But I'm still looking at it out here. I haven't clicked on Option, so I'm in mask mode. But I'm selected on the mask. You can see like these little marks around it. And I'm just going to paint black around here. And as I paint black, I'm sort of erasing those little bits right there that I don't want to see, right? Just cleaning it up a little bit. Don't go overboard with this. A little bit goes a long way. You can see how it helps out. And like I said, you could come in here and clean this up. I'm gonna leave it like it is. All right. So last thing we want to do on this, I'm going to zoom back out. We want to set up some kind of ground, right? And, oh yeah, I forgot. We're going to do the eye. So I do have an eye up here. It's this little guy right here. Okay. So what I'm going to do, select all, copy that eye. And actually before we copy it, because I know for a fact that we're going to drag it in here, right? We're going to drag it into this mask, and we want that eye to fit in there somewhere. You can see it has this black background. The easiest way to work with this is from back out here in this eye, is to just go ahead and invert it ahead of time. So I'm going to hit Command and I. So it's inverted. Zoom in a little bit. So again, to zoom in is Command and plus. Oops. Get rid of my selection. Command D to deselect. Drag a lasso around this so I'm not selecting too much. Command C to copy. Now I can hide this. And we're going to go into mask mode. Get rid of that selection. Command D to get rid of your selection. Alright, so hold down Option, click on your mask. Now you're in mask mode. Alright, let's go ahead and paste. Command V. You can see I've got my eye right here, which is not where I really want it. Alright, so just kind of move it into place, basically. It should match on there fairly well. I can click out here to sort of see where it is. That's a pretty good spot. That works for me. So I'm going to go Command D to deselect, and now I've added an eye. Right, and so in order to get that eye, I did a separate drawing. I realized afterwards that I needed that, so I did a separate drawing. Anyway, so now we want to add this to the bottom, right? But I don't want it to just be that texture. I want it to be an actual color. So we're going to start a brand new layer right above there. I have no idea what color to make it, but I'm going to do like some kind of, I've got this yellow up here, so I'll do that. Right, so we'll lay that out. Again, we need to change it to be multiply. And this time we're going to add the mask. Going to go back up here, grab our texture, Command A, Command C to copy. Go into the mask mode, so click Option, right, and then paste it inside of here. Alright, Command D to deselect, Command I to invert. Right, and now we should have, if we click back out here, should have that texture. You can see obviously we have a problem in that it's inside of everything, right? It's totally switched our colors around, and we'd like to get rid of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat, actually. I'm going to select the mask. I'm going to use my paintbrush. And I'm going to say that I want it to look like it's sort of a ground back there, right? So go across all the way here. All right, so let's pretend like it's a ground. All right, cool. So go there, we get rid of that, and we can get a lot larger brush. Right, get rid of it all up in here. Right, so again, I'm just painting black. You can see where the black's getting painted on the mask. Come back down in here, and then I would paint away any area where I didn't want it. It actually didn't look too bad on the shirt, but we're going to get rid of it anyway. Cool. Alright, so I'll quit it there rather than make you watch me paint this guy's pants. But anyway, you get the idea. We could paint that mask anywhere we wanted to get rid of that tone.